here in the shrine, Our Lady of Carns shrine here in Mayo. Just show you out here. I'm not going to be like Tom Medjugorje and I'll do Robert Carns video channel. But this is a very small shrine where there's no shops, no nothing. Very, very small shrine. But on the 2nd of September is the anniversary of the apparition here. So there will be mass here, and there has been mass here on the 2nd of September every year. So if you're around that evening on the 2nd of September, let me know. I think it's 8 o'clock, but I don't know. I have to get that confirmed. Something, I mean, this place has lots and lots and lots and lots of people visiting it all the time. You see, there's a stream of people visiting. It's a very peaceful, beautiful. I mean, look at this weather. Look at this, the scenery here. Look, it's absolutely beautiful. Near where Father Peyton was born in Attimas. Well, near for me anyway. But one thing I've noticed, it always impacts me when I come here, are the prayers. People leave prayers everywhere. Everywhere. And sometimes it's very sad to hear about people's struggles, about what is impacting them. And as Catholics, you know, we have to be that agent of hope, of help, of support. If somebody is struggling, don't just pray for them, pray with them, help them, make them a cup of tea, support them, you know. And I think it's so important, and it's hopefully someday there will be a like Jim Brown has, like a larger kitchen here in Carns. But I just wanted to make you aware that the anniversary of the apparition is coming up on the 2nd of September here in Our Lady of Carns Shrine in Sligo, Diocese of Killala. And, you know, please come along. And if you're passing here, come along, light a candle, say a prayer. Very peaceful. Love this place. Anyway, God bless you. Take care. My prayer group is on a Tuesday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Men of St. Joseph's prayer group here in Our Lady of Carns Shrine in Sligo. God bless.
Who could fail to remember the unusual happenings during the spring and summer of last year? By September, statues were reported to have moved at 27 different locations. And at Carns Castle Connor in West Sligo, hundreds, sometimes thousands, were gathering for night vigils after 4 local teenage girls had reported seeing an apparition of the Blessed Virgin. In subsequent weeks, other sightings were listed here. Balls of fire, hosts. Sometimes there was even the scent of flowers. Members of the clergy, for the most part, stayed silent. But, as the cynics argued with the believers, the affair was the talk of the country. Then came the winter. The curiosity dwindled. Today, 9 months later, motorists using the main Sligo to Ballina Road are reminded that Carns Castle Connor was once the setting for something out of the ordinary. Near the site of the reported apparition, cattle are left to graze peacefully. But in the field where the gatherings were centred, very definite alterations have occurred. A committee of local people is erecting a Marian shrine. Recently they acquired a life-size statue of the Blessed Virgin. When the foundations are completed, the statue will be placed in a grotto at the centre of the site. Alongside it will go another statue, this one of Bernadette. The locals carrying out the work have supplied their labour free of charge. The statues were purchased in England and imported. All the other materials were given either free of charge or at cost price.
We intend to make a very pretty place out of it in the next few months. As you see, it's a bit rough at present, but it was very rough when we started here. As you see, we're building a very nice stone wall along here, and we're building a grotto here in the middle. This is only a temporary grotto now. It's just put up here for the sake of the visitors and people that pay their money that's coming. The weather was very bad, as you know, and it stopped the boys from working the last 3 weeks. So we didn't have a very nice wall capped, and 2 nice gates and nice grotto. We went in thermic at it, and as you see, we have trees planted all round about it. We have almost 100 trees planted there. So we didn't put flower beds around the back and stages of the cross and so on like that. We did have all that work done by the anniversary on the 2nd of September.
The religious activity that took place in Ireland during last September, it seems to have died off in a lot of places, but it's continuing here. Why so?
Well, not really. It didn't die off here. We have still big crowds coming Sundays, and we have a vigil here on the 2nd of every month, the anniversary. We have the 4 Visionaries here all the time, and good crowds. Some nights there was very bad nights here, very bad weather, but we still had the good crowd. And on every Friday night for May we have a vigil here. And on the Feast of Our Lady, we still keep carrying on that. And we have a lot of priests and nuns and all still coming here from Ireland and from other countries as well. A lot of people from Northern Ireland. We're very thankful for them for coming here.
The current events at Carns revive the comments and criticisms voiced last year when the moving statues and apparitions phenomenon was debated. Remember the arguments about religious beliefs based on a mixture of superstition and sentimentality, those who dismissed the plastic images of piety and purity, the legacy of a peasant people struggling for identity in a consumer-oriented world. In Castleconnor, such talk is above the heads of the local committee members. They say the construction of the shrine is helping to bring the community closer together.
All the local neighbours are coming here now in the evenings to pray. A lot of them come here and say their evening rosary, and they've helped out in every way here when we are working here. They've come and served us with tea to us and sandwiches and all that sort of thing. So we're delighted with the cooperation we're getting from the local people here.
Of course, there are still some people sceptical about events here.
Well, there is, of course. You have a certain amount of people that way, all right. But I think the fact that we are coming here and working here and they see us here and we haven't deserted the place, I think they're beginning to come now and have a leaf in the place, you know.
The 4 girls who initiated the gatherings at Carns continue to visit the site each day. They often find company. Last summer, the local bishop said he didn't believe that the moving statues incidents or reported apparitions were supernatural. But the clergy still continue to come here. The shrine will be ready for September. Now that the longer evenings have arrived, the murmur of prayers from this remote hillside on the Sligo-Mayo border seems destined to continue.
Monday night, we went to County Sligo. You can roll it there, Colette, please. And we came across another of these manifestations because since Monday of last week, the lives of 4 County Sligo teenagers and where they live, Colleens, have been transformed by what they firmly believe to have been an apparition by the Virgin Mary. Now, Colleens is a remote rural area about 25 miles west of Sligo town. And since the reported apparitions, crowds have flocked to the spot where it occurred, growing in numbers as each night of vigil passes, until on Tuesday night last, about 12,000 people gathered in the fields and lanes around the site, joining in prayer and hymn singing that continued into the early hours of Wednesday morning. Men, women, children, many of whom travelled 50 miles or more on consecutive nights, turned their eyes to the night sky as they prayed in anticipation of some sign. For 9 successive nights, the 4 teenagers who witnessed the initial and subsequent manifestations, they have retraced their route, which is a 1.5 mile walk along a dark country road, as part of a novena of grace in honour of the Virgin Mary. They're Mary Handley, Patricia McGuinness, Colleen McGuinness, and their cousin Mary McGuinness. They've since returned to school, but they remain calm and confident of what they witnessed. People have come in their hundreds, claiming to share in an experience that has left even the very sceptical rather moved.
And Thursday night I came here and we were down praying at the gate down here below, and we're here praying here, and the Blessed Virgin just came in the mist and she waited for about 3 to 4 minutes, And then we were praying again, and I was looking down across the fields, and I could see the Blessed Virgin coming very clear to me. She was all dressed in white, and she was holding her hands like this, and behind her was all black. And the 4 girls that seen her on Monday night, they could see her face in the moon. But I couldn't see it, but the moon was fierce bright and there was a blue little rim around the moon. And the girl said that she was saying faith and hope all the time. So I was here again last night and we're praying away, and out nowhere this big red light came out of the sky just up here, and the Blessed Virgin statue was in it, and there was angels going around us all the time. And I was here praying, and we're looking back, crowders were looking back here at the cloud, and the Blessed Virgin's head came 3 times.
Monday night there was a friend of ours, she's from England, and she was up in our house, and we went up to my 3 friends that's here, to their houses, and we all came back to our house. Then we left to leave, her name is Diane. We went down home with her. She lives in her granny's down the shop, about a mile and a half down the road. On the way down we started to sing hymns, which was very unusual for us because we never started singing hymns like that before. We were slightly scared on the way down, but it passed over. We left a friend at home anyways, and on the way up we were just talking about school and songs and that. And then at the spot where Our Lady was seen, I looked up in the sky and I seen Our Lady and Bernadette beside her and a star to one side of her head. I started to scream in panic. I touched, Colleen was beside me and I touched her. Then Colleen looked up and she seen Our Lady and Bernadette beside her. And Colleen could see her face, and she seemed to have a sorrowful looking face. And Colleen turned around then. She was really scared of me because she thought that Our Lady had sent something through me that would harm her. So Colleen ran to her sister Patricia, and Mary ran to her. So the 3 of them were together on the road, and I was all on my own. And I was screaming for the 3 girls not to go. Then Patricia came over to me and she tried to pull me from the road. And she said, as if I was stuck to the road, that frozen, I couldn't move. And I felt something going through your body, just really frightening. But eventually they got me to move off the road. Mary and Patricia looked up and they seen like an outline of Our Lady in the sky. They were unable to see St. Bernadette. We went home anyways, and I didn't look up in the sky after that because I was afraid. But Colleen looked up and Our Lady guided us the whole way up to the back of our house. When we came to our house there, just before we came to the door, my mother came out and she seen a low light around the 4 of us, like we were shining. But we hadn't known that, and my mother hadn't known the story this time. And we told my mother the story and parents, and they believed us. Then we went up with our friends to their house, and their mothers were out looking for them. And we told them the story also. And Colleen, Patricia's mother, about the time we had seen Our Lady, she'd seen a very unusual looking star in the sky.
And what have you been doing every night since?
Every night since we left the night. On Monday night it happened at 9:20, we left the house, and every night since we've left the house at 9:20, and we did the journey down to the shop and up again, and loads of people have come to pray at the vigils.
Have you been surprised by the numbers of people that have been turning up?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, when she appeared to us, we were scared. Who's going to believe this, us 4, who's going to believe that the Blessed Virgin Mary appeared to us? But the next day we told the neighbours, they cried over it and everything, and lots and lots of people have turned up. There's over thousands has turned up already over the past few nights.
You've been back to school. What has the reaction from your classmates been?
My friends have been really great about it.
The cycle
and stood by our side all the time.
Cycle 7 or 8 miles to come up here every night. The younger ones.
Has the Virgin Mary got a message that she wants to pass on to you and to everybody else through you?
Well, no, she hasn't told us and such but when she appeared in the moon on Tuesday night, People saw her lips move to faith and hope, and which I seen here, myself and Colleen, but the other 2 girls didn't. And along with the 13 other ones seen it with us on the first night, Tuesday night. And she sang Hail, Hail Queen of Heaven with us. And she smiled and she said really happy. And other people said our Lord was formed, in the clouds. Like when they come up to us after and said, like, I saw our Lord in the clouds,
Like apparitions that have happened in the past elsewhere in the world, people have been very sceptical. Are you quite happy that what you saw was an apparition of the Virgin Mary?
Yes.
And you're quite convinced of that?
Yes.